With transfer deadline day fast approaching, Arsenal are still looking to sign a new striker. So with their eyes set on Swedish sensation Alexander Isak, has the player today been spotted in London outside the Emirates Stadium? Also, have Barcelona agreed a deal with Pierre Emerick Aubameyang, and are Arsenal still planning to sign a new central midfielder? Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Babs14. Welcome back to boys channel. Only 2 days now left of this transfer window and things are starting to get very interesting. But as per my friends, smash a like on the video if you enjoy and subscribe to the channel if you are new and help your boy on his road to 80,000 subscribers. But let's get into the Arsenal transfer news, and starting off with Alexander Isak. Now in yesterday's video I did say that I think Isak is our most realistic target in this window to sign a brand new striker, and that being, yes, he's very expensive at £77 million, but the fact that that is a release clause, Arsenal can pay it like that and the player is all ours. But in terms of today, let's just say the Arsenal FBI agents have come out and these guys have found some very interesting things. First things first, here is a video of Alexander Isak in London this afternoon with his Real Sociedad teammate and Adnan Januzaj walking in Selfridges. Now in terms of Isak himself, he is the guy on the left hand side here, and in terms of the right you got Adnan Januzaj, who you can clearly see with his blonde haircut. But of course he's wearing a hoodie, you can't see his face, so it could be anyone. But then saying that, here is a far more clear video from last night of Alexander Isak clubbing in Soho, London with his teammate Adnan Januzaj, and as you guys can see with your own eyes, that is indeed Alexander Isak confirmed in London. And just if you guys want even more confirmation, here is a photo that Adnan Januzaj posted on his Instagram story confirming that him and Isak are together. So yes, it is very coincidental that Isak is in London with the transfer deadline day fast approaching and Arsenal having confirmed interest. But technically speaking, London is a very famous city for tourists, and with Isak being on a bit of a break, maybe Isak's in London just for a cheeky little holiday. But let's just say, here's where things get even more interesting, because an Arsenal fan has somehow in some way found a photo of a car with the Isak number plate driving around London last night, and has also searched up the official number plate, which confirms that the car was bought in January 2022 and also registered and taxed in the same month as well. And as pointed out by this account here, interestingly, this license plate was registered on January the 20th, the exact same day that Arsenal were last in contact with Fiorentina for Dusan Vlahovic. So you're telling me that Isak is not only confirmed within London, but now we have a recently bought car as soon as been linked to Arsenal with his specific name on that number plate that has been recently taxed and registered in the UK. But it doesn't just end there, because things get even more interesting, as somehow and some way Arsenal fans have figured out that our Isak number plated car was coming out of Queensland Road last night. Now where on earth is Queensland Road? Well my friends, this, as you can see, is right next to the Emirates Stadium. Not just right next to the Emirates Stadium, but it is a road directly coming outside of the Emirates Stadium car park. From cloud spotting for Gabriel Magalhaes, from tracking plane after plane from numerous signings, and now the Arsenal fan base has now tracked number plates and found this player, identified him and put him under surveillance. And you've also had another photo come out today of that Isak number plate that has been spotted at Finsbury Park, which for you guys that don't know is only 10 minutes away from the Emirates Stadium. Now does this confirm an Arsenal transfer? Of course it does not. And yes, it could be just a massive coincidence. But connect the dots here, the player is confirmed in London. Then you see a car that's been recently bought within the last few days driving around London near the Emirates Stadium with the Isak number plate behind it. By no means am I saying this is a done deal, but things are just smelling very fishy around here. Now in terms of myself, I am still trying my hardest to keep myself calm and composed and to not get too overexcited, because as a wise man once said, it's the hope that kills you as an Arsenal fan. But now that I've put the evidence forward to you guys, I want you guys to be the judges. What do you guys make of this entire situation, and do you think that Arsenal are indeed going to sign Alexander Isak? But yeah, if the FBI are looking to employ some brand new people, just have a look at the Arsenal fan base, because our fan base seems to be full of world-class detectives. Moving on to Pierre Emerick Aubameyang, according to the very reliable Gerard Romero, Barcelona have total agreement in place with Aubameyang, and the Catalans will sign the striker if Ousmane Dembele leaves. So Barca have agreed personal terms with Aubameyang, but here the most important part about any transfer is in terms of Arsenal and their wages, because Aubameyang is on mega wages and I don't think Barca will be open to paying them sort of money. So with that being the case, it poses a question to Arsenal whether they're going to accept. But also in terms of James Bench, he comes out with an exclusive claiming that Al Nassr have made a final offer to Pierre Emerick Aubameyang. They're prepared to match his Arsenal salary and include a break clause after 12 months that would allow him to return to Europe. Same offer on the table for Arsenal. Arsenal, with the Saudi transfer deadline being tomorrow. The Saudis have put the best offer so far for Arsenal in terms of Aubameyang, which I think Arsenal are most inclined to accepting, but as Fabrizio Romano has confirmed and David Ornstein, the player wants to stay in Europe. But in terms of Barca, of course, they have a very important player in Ousmane Dembele who could potentially be available, and according to Gerard Romero, he's reporting that Barcelona are willing to accept a loan swap deal for Ousmane Dembele, with Dembele's contract expiring in 6 months' time. Ousmane Dembele swap transfer, I think he's a very decent player, but his wages are massive, and also in terms of injuries, this guy is one of the most injury prone, unfortunate players in the world. And also in terms of Arsenal, we have wingers already, I think we need a striker instead. But in terms of yourselves, would you accept an Ousmane Dembele and Pierre Emerick Aubameyang loan swap deal? According to Dharmesh Seth of Sky Sports News, Arsenal have rejected a second bid for Crystal Palace from striker Eddie Nketiah. I just don't know what you're doing, Arsenal, here, because this guy's contract expires in 6 months' time. He has made it clear time and time again that he does not want to extend. So yes, Arteta might like the player, and likewise Eddie Gaspar, but if he does not want to stay, if offers are to arrive, let him go and cash in on the assets. Are you guys against making money? But for me, I keep saying it, if Arsenal let Nketiah and Aubameyang go, it has to confirm that Arsenal need to sign a striker. Will that be Alexander Isak, my friends? The clock is ticking, it's squeaky bum time, and we're gonna have to wait and see. Okay, let's move on to Arsenal's pursuits for a brand new central midfielder. Now, there have been 2 Arsenal targets that Arsenal looking at, both Brazilian and one being Artemelo. But in terms of that deal, as Fabrizio Romano has confirmed today, as things stand, negotiations to sign Artemelo on loan from Arsenal have collapsed. So as of right now, Arsenal aren't going to be signing Artemelo. And they also won't be signing a certain Bruno Guimaraes, because as Fabrizio Romano confirms, Bruno Guimaraes from Olympique Lyonnais to Newcastle, done deal, here we go. Medical has been completed and the contract until June 2026. The fee is €40 million plus €2 million in add-ons. Guimaraes going to Newcastle, best of luck to him there, but it's a dagger to your boys' heart. I've always wanted Guimaraes, but in terms of Arsenal, it seems like they've made it very clear their targets are more within the Premier League. But could one be a certain Yves Bissouma? Well, according to the Times, Mail Sport and the Mirror, they are all claiming that Brian are willing to part with Yves Bissouma in the final days of the transfer window, but would want around £50 million for him. Arsenal are interested in signing the midfielder. Arsenal have always liked Yves Bissouma and held discussions behind the scenes with his agent as well. Most importantly, that price tag there, £50 million, I just don't see Arsenal paying that, especially in this transfer window, as the priority remains pretty clear, and that is signing a brand new centre forward instead. I think in terms of the other targets, they like Yuri Tielemans, they like Ruben Neves and other players within the Premier League, and I'm sure that Bissouma is also on that list, but it looks like Arsenal have identified the summer transfer window instead, where they're going to look to address the central midfield position. But talk to me about yourselves, and what midfielder out of the Premier League do you guys want to see Arsenal sign? According to Fabrizio Romano, Granit Xhaka won't leave Arsenal in the final days of the window, despite rumours coming from Italy. Jose Mourinho is a big fan and wanted him last summer, but there are no talks as things stand. Xhaka is going nowhere because Arsenal aren't signing a new midfielder, and as much as some people aren't his biggest fans, Xhaka is going to be an integral part of this Arsenal team for the second half of the season, as Arsenal are putting their faith in him alongside Thomas Partey. It is a massive second half of the season for Arsenal. Arsenal can't mess about. It looks like Arsenal aren't going to sign a new central midfielder before this window closes. So in terms of yourselves, are you happy with Xhaka and Partey leading Arsenal throughout the second half of the season? And in your opinion, is that enough for Arsenal to secure Champions League football? Okay, let's move on to the other Arsenal news today. And starting off with Arsenal's young loanee out down there in the Championship, we're talking young striker Folarin Balogun, who came off the bench today and was a game changer as he got an assist on his debut as Middlesbrough won 1-0. If Arsenal are to get rid of Aubameyang and likewise Eddie Nketiah, Balogun is hopefully going to play a massive part on the Arsenal team next season, because even if Arsenal after signing a striker with Lacazette's contract expiring, Balogun might just be an Arsenal rotational option going into next season. So with that in mind, it is vitally important that he goes down to Middlesbrough, plays more and more minutes, gets goals, gets assists, and then comes back to Arsenal better mentally and physically, ready for the Arsenal first team. The Arsenal Academy have announced the signing of Lino Sosa from West Bromwich Albion. Yes, my friends, Arsenal have signed a player, but it's for the Arsenal Academy, so let's just calm down. Lino Sosa is a very young fullback, but very promising, signing from West Brom. And it looks like Per Mertesacker is doing it once again, signing these very young promising players who hopefully one day can make it through Hale End and start for the Arsenal first team. According to Sky Sports News in the UK, Bernd Leno is not going to leave Arsenal in this winter transfer window. Decision has been confirmed. A transfer in the summer is more likely, with Newcastle still with good chances if they stay in the Premier League. In terms of the goalkeeping situation, Arsenal of course have signed a new one in Matt Turner, who will sign for Arsenal in the summer, and so with that being the case, it basically confirms that Leno is going to leave Arsenal, and the fact that Arsenal are out of all cup competitions, when on earth is Leno actually going to get to play? But in terms of yourselves, how much do you guys think Bernd Leno is worth in the current transfer market, and going into that summer window, how much did Arsenal look to ask for him? According to Sport newspaper in Spain, William Saliba is on Real Madrid's agenda for next season. Hey yo Real Madrid, I know that you're a massive club, but who do you guys think you are? We're gargantuan as well. You're not taking one of our best young centre backs. Move away, my friend. You've got your own players. And in terms of William Saliba, Arsenal made it very clear he will come back to Arsenal at the end of the season. Ultimately, I'm not surprised that Real Madrid want to sign this player because he is that good, but if he's good enough to play for Real Madrid in the Champions League and fighting for La Liga, then surely he is more than good enough to play for Arsenal Football Club as well. Now, of course, in terms of Saliba's contract, it expires in 2 years' time once he returns in the summer, and so I'm hoping that once he returns to Arsenal, Arsenal renew his contract, because if they fail to do that, I am sure that all the top clubs around the world will have a look around William Saliba. But now, in terms of Arsenal, and specifically Edu Gaspar, the eyes turned to transfer deadline day. Just 2 days left of this transfer window, and for Arsenal, it is crunch time really and truly. Are they going to sign a brand new striker? Is Aubameyang going to go to Barcelona? Massive, gargantuan questions posed towards Arsenal Football Club. Let's wait and see how Arsenal respond. But that is the video there and there. If you guys have enjoyed, make sure to go down there and smash a like on the video, and also do subscribe to the boys channel if you are new. If you would like to follow your boy on them social medias, then the links will be down below in the description. But that was the latest episode of the Transfers FC, and we're getting closer and closer to the end of the series, so Arsenal give me a certain big Swede and I'm gonna be very happy. Anyways guys, I'll see you next time in a bit.